Where's Brandon? Where has he been? Brandon!
He had an excuse. I just don't know what it was.
Brandon, where are you?
I can't because I see Carlos and Melissa. They can't keep a straight face. They're trying, but they can't. That's what I'm.
Hope.
Well, yeah.
Well, I thought he was the number one reporter. Apparently, he's the number two. Oh, yeah. Nothing like a number two joke to get us started here on the number 2 day of the week, Tuesday. Hey, everyone. Don't worry, we've gotten Brandon out, we think. John Hansen here, joined by the lovely Felicia Lawrence and the even lovelier, well, no, equally lovely, Deanna Gutierrez. Hey, guys.
Don't go down that hole.
Whoa, well, we won't make a joke out of that either. So okay.
You gotta keep both of your work wives happy. So be careful, John. Yeah. It's a thin line you're skirting.
And Deanna, you're in for Amy. I got to keep her happy too. She'll be back soon enough. And it's a lot of pressure, guys, to keep all of y'all happy. But it is something I'm willing to do for the good of everyone.
Thank you for your service.
No problem.
All right, everyone, let's get into this first story here. For dancers, the coronavirus wiped out stage, television, and video work, but one East Side resident used the professional downtime as an opportunity to connect with his community. Tito the Dancer is our Heroes of Chicago.
5, 6, 7, 8, 1. My name is Tito. I go by the stage name Tito the Dancer, and I am a choreographer from the southeast side of Chicago. 5, 5, 1. So I teach beginners hip hop and an urban movement. Anything that has a Latin groove, you know. But I've been dancing since I was 7 years old. I started seeing my mom dancing. She was actually a professional dancer in her time in El Salvador. So it's like 5, 6, 7, 8. Whew. I always wanted to be a professional dancer, a choreographer. I always wanted to be a backup dancer with like J Balvin or Justin Bieber. So you're gonna grab your right and your left, and you're just gonna swing 1, 2. I never took no classes when I was young. It was all self-taught, watching YouTube. My mother, she would always dance for music. She had big speakers in the house while they were cleaning, you know. That's Sunday, Saturday, you know, Hispanic life, cleaning at 7 in the morning. She didn't really teach me as much, but she showed me the basics and to believe in yourself. Da-da-da, swing, ha. Oh, my bad, my fault. My first time ever, I took a class in LA. I was like, man, you know what? I want to bring this back to the East Side. The kids look up to TikTok right now, and it's all dancing. They do routines, and they learn them because of that video. And with me being here, 1, 2, elbow, elbow. I could teach them physically. Good job. You know, I want them to stay out of trouble. I'm right here, 1, 2, 5. With everything that's going on now these days, you know, with the pandemic and the looting, I want them to not think about that. Let's just have fun and dance in a safe way. Especially in this area that we live in, there's been a lot going on. And with the kids, if they don't feel comfortable being in a playground, they could come dance with me on Thursday, you know, for just an hour. I'm not done teaching the youth here in the East Side or even living in the East Side, because there's a lot to be done. And once it's done, then I'll finish exploring the world and meet new people. After that jump, just, I don't know, thumbs up. I'm not gonna forget who home is.
And if you know someone who needs to be recognized for what they're doing in the community during the pandemic, send us an email at realjamshy@wciu.com. John?
Okay, this next story is certainly one to make you smile. So there's this 5-year-old girl. She's so sweet. She's in Scotland, and she's doing what any kid would do to help everyone out in a pandemic. She brought hand sanitizer to school, right? And she passed it amongst her friends. Well, the problem was, it turns out her mom discovered it wasn't hand sanitizer, but it was, you know, liquid that is used sometimes in adult relationships. Is that a good way to say it? Okay. You know what I'm saying? And so the mom was like, oh my God, how did this happen? She, like, the girl came home and she had it. And it was a brand called Ann Summers, and the little girl's name was Summer. So that's high. But she's like, oh, have you been using this? And she's like, yeah, and so have all my friends. So
kids, man, that's, what else can you say? Kids.
I mean, that's the beauty of the innocent, right? Like, I mean, she didn't mean any wrong in it. And it wasn't, I can't even say curiosity killed the cat, because she was probably like, oh, it has my name on it. It must be mine. I don't know. I mean, it's fine. We'll let it pass this one time, but keep those things away from kids.
Clearly, right? Can you imagine the things that teachers probably end up seeing from hearing from children, seeing from children? I can only imagine.
Yeah, you bring up a good point because like we always do the story every year of like what the TSA collects that we shouldn't be bringing through the airports. I bet that we should do PTA meetings about the things that teachers see that kids accidentally bring in from home. That's a whole other segment. Oh, that's another question we'll have to ask Amy when she's back. So.
Yeah, I heard though that they called the teacher to come up to the school. I thought that was a little serious about the situation. You know, out of everything that's going on in the world, you can send me an email about this.
Yes.
That's just what I think. Okay, you guys check out this clip.
I sit here underneath the moon, wondering how our cherished memories were gone so soon.
Yes, not sure what I'm watching, but I love the way it sounds. The soft rock tunes of Ninja Sex Party have become the viral anthems for many TikTok and social media influencers. And the band, they are not letting the pandemic slow down the release of their 5th album. Half of the dynamic duo joining us now is Dan Avidan. And hi, Dan. And you guys refer to yourself as a comedy band. What exactly does that mean?
Oh, well, first of all, hello. Thanks for having me. Yeah, we started, I guess, years ago, maybe 12 years ago. We were big fans of Weird Al and Flight of the Conchords and Lonely Island and those types of groups. And we couldn't make any headway as normal musicians, quote unquote, and we couldn't make any headway as comedians either. So it was only when we combined the two that something started clicking.
Dan, I am so excited to have you here because a couple of years ago, I was jamming out to this song called The Hit. And my buddy was like, yeah, it's Tupperware Remix and this other group called Ninja Sex Party. And I was like, what did you just say to me? But it was one of the most awesome rockin' songs. I was on it for like 6 months over and over again because, and I guess the point I'm trying to make is the music that you guys make is funny, but it's also, they're bangers. It's good music.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we do our best. We're all trained musicians in various ways, and we try to make them as enjoyable as we can. But we also happen to love writing songs about, you know, dinosaurs and wizards and stuff like that. So that's just what comes out.
Oh my gosh. And speaking of bangers, okay, so Danny Don't You Know has, I don't even know how many millions of views. Is it 10, 11 million views?
10.
Who knows? A lot. 10 million views. There you go. So, I mean, I have to ask, when you're creating videos like this and when you're writing songs like this, do you have an end goal in mind? Like, hey, this one's going to go viral. Do you know, is it just like spur of the moment type of deal?
No, I mean, it sounds kind of cheesy, but you have to write whatever's in your heart, you know? You can't, the moment you try to write things in the hope that they'll get popular or make you famous or anything, the soul of it is gone. And we actually, Danny Don't You Know was on our last album, and that was one of our biggest hits. And we had, it was kind of radio friendly in a way. It was a concise type of song. And so we had agents and managers say, hey, try to replicate that with this new album that you're doing. And of course, the first song we wrote for this new album was a 12-minute long song about wizards. So it's like, that went out the window right away. But you just can't fake stuff, you know? Audiences know when something is true or authentic, I guess would be the word.
Yeah. So for me, the song, I know Danny Don't You Know is a really popular song. For me, the song is Everybody Wants to Rule the World. That's the one that gets me going. And I think I guess you have the visuals that don't always match the tune or what I think it would match. And so when you're coming up with both of those, like, where does that come from? Like, are you like, this is weird, let's do it?
Well, yeah, basically whatever's fun, we try to do. The Everybody Wants to Rule the World is, you know, of course, Tears for Fears from the 80s, right. And that was part of a cover album we did. But the strange thing to us was we didn't think anyone would want us to do covers. We thought we were going to get yelled at for like, where's your comedy stuff? But people were actually into it. And it's funny because we have fans that are a lot of different ages, and some of the ones that are much younger, like 10 or 11, they would write us and say, "Thank you for writing Everybody Wants to Rule the World," and we were like, "No, don't tell anyone we did that." It's really amazing because we Brian and I grew up as '80s kids, so to get to introduce a new generation to those songs we loved growing up is really, really cool too.
Once the song is written and already produced, is the visual the fun part, or is that just as grueling? Because it seems like you guys are having a blast in every video you do.
They're really fun. We got lucky in the sense that the one you showed the little clip of, we shot that right before the pandemic hit, so we're lucky we snuck that in. Basically, we just write whatever the funniest thing is we can think of, and then if we can make a live action video for it, we'll do that. And if it's just so ridiculous that we can't even film it, we'll just have someone animate a cartoon video for it.
Dan, I have to be honest, because I spent like the last hour and a half going through Game Grumps, and I was laughing by myself. My dog was looking at me like I was insane. But I feel like things like that and Starbomb allow you to open up your mind to creativity, because we don't always get to do those silly, funny things.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate. Game Grumps is a YouTube channel that I'm also a part of, where we play video games, and Starbomb is another band. Yeah, I'd say I started trying to pursue music when I was 20, and then eventually got my break when I was 34, I think. So it was just, I'm very lucky because I had plenty of time to know what not success feels like, so I'm just trying to, I don't take it for granted, and neither does Brian or Aaron or anyone we work with. We're all very lucky, and we know it.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on all the success. I think that makes us even bigger fans. The fact that you're like, I'm not forgetting where I come from. That's awesome. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, the new album for NJS is out this Friday. NSJ, we should say, Ninja Sex Party. NSP, let's get it right. NSP. And the album is called The Prophecy. Of course, you can get that on all of the major streaming platforms.
Brandon, over to you.
What a name. Ninja Sex Party. All right, guys, there's more to come on the Jam, including Tyra Banks' latest defense on her Dancing with the Stars mishap, plus the blank notepad that's stealing the show of the Supreme Court hearings of Amy Coney Barrett. That's coming up in news you need to know. Brandon Pope here with the news you need to know. The Supreme Court with a huge, impactful decision here, allowing the Trump administration to officially end the 2020 census count earlier than originally planned. A lower courts previously ordered the count to continue through the end of the month. This move could result in an undercount of minorities and other underrepresented groups throughout the country. And day 2 of SCOTUS hearings, Amy Coney Barrett being grilled by senators on Capitol Hill as we speak on key issues like the Affordable Care Act. The Trump admin has made it a mission to kill it. Barrett says she's made no promises or deals with the president to do so. Take a listen.
I have had no conversation with the president or any of his staff on how I might rule in that case. It would be a gross violation of judicial independence for me to make any such commitment or for me to be asked about that case and how I would rule. I also think it would be a complete violation of the independence of the judiciary.
Senators also tried to pin Barrett down on Roe v. Wade and abortion. She repeatedly sidestepped that question.
Do you agree with Justice Scalia's view that Roe can and should be overturned by the Supreme Court?
I know one reason why it would be comforting to you to have an answer, but I can't express views on cases or pre-commit to approaching a case any particular way.
She's being asked about Scalia because that is her mentor. Barrett was also trending today for her blank notebook of all things. She was asked what note she was referring to by Senator John Cornyn. She held it up, noting all that was there was the Senate logo, and John Cornyn said that was impressive. So some people on social media have been making some memes about it and getting a lot of discussion. It is impressive to do a whole 2 hour, more than 2 hours, or it's 6:16 right now, and she's still going with no notes at all, speaking about complicated things like the law. Pretty cool.
Yeah, there's no doubt she's a very smart woman. I got one note for her in my notebook she might want to remember. It's orientation, not preference. Gosh, she referenced sexual preference like 3 or 4 times during her thing, and that is such an outdated way of referring to the LGBTQ community. Amy Coney Barrett, I prayed to the same God you prayed to for 3 years to not make me gay. And if someone thinks that that was a choice of mine, I got another thing coming for you. Having said all that, she's a smart woman, without a doubt. She obviously has a long list of things that she has accomplished and is written about. And but that one just really just got me.
Yeah. She's very sharp, and I really appreciate you sharing that, John, because I've worked beside you for a little while now, and I've never heard you put it like that and to be so passionate about that. So thanks for being vulnerable there. But yeah, she is not being clear on what she thinks about Roe versus Wade and some of the current case, some of the precedents that people are really watching and paying attention to right now to see if she would uphold those same decisions. She's saying that it's on a case-by-case basis, but as a voter, as a female voter, I don't even know if we have that luxury. That sounds good, but right now we need to know how these people are going to uphold our laws, if they will, if they won't, if they want to move in a different direction. I just think transparency is the best right now. And another thing that stood out to me, they asked her about how she felt about George Floyd, because she does have 2 adopted children, 2 Black children of her own. And she said that she's having those difficult conversations with her children. But and she also noted that her children have grown up in a cocoon, so they've been sheltered from a lot of what Black Americans, the urban Black experience could be. And so she said basically that those are just difficult conversations for her, which is also concerning for me, because it makes me wonder whether or not you are aware of what's going on or able to have empathy for that urban Black experience.
Well, Felicia, going off right now as she's being questioned by Kamala Harris, going off on how she's answering those questions, she pretty much isn't giving us any concrete answers, saying that it's a case-by-case basis, exactly what you said. But also she did say, because her mentor was Scalia, that there were some cases that she knows that he didn't personally agree with, but had to follow the law. So then it puts it in perspective where it's law and apply, and that's really the baseline for everything. So at least give us a little bit more of what you are offering to the table, because what we know is all the articles that you've written, which a lot of people have a lot of issues with. So again, law and apply, I don't know, it was just very basic for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Definitely a lot of things to flag when it comes to her there. So that is all we have there for news you need to know.
All right.
All right, everyone, let's see what's coming up next here. Today is the day many tech geeks have been looking forward to. Dun, 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 the Apple event coming up. The fancy features and new design Apple fans are eager to get their hands on after the break.
Oh,
here we go.
I want it.
Also vote.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Alrighty, welcome back on this Tuesday night. Tyra Banks, I think a lot of you caught the episode of Dancing with the Stars last week where she had a kind of a Steve Harvey moment where she released the wrong people and said the wrong people were in when they were supposed to be out. Well, she defended herself on last night's episode. She was saying that they weren't actually in the bottom two. Let's take a look.
Please have Monica come back. There's been an error in our control room, but we're making it happen. This is live TV. I was reading my cards, but my cards were wrong. So here we go.
Okay, so that was last week. During last night's show, she explained that she had multiple people yelling in her ear and that it was entirely production's fault, which is something I can relate to, as you might have seen last night. I'm really excited to talk to our next guest. I believe we have him. He is, oh, nope, no. I've been yelled at in my ear by 5 people, so we're not doing that.
No, yeah. Don't go.
Yes. We're all, oh, that was,
John, read the
that was
script.
loud. We're not doing that. Okay, so in all joking aside, Tyra Banks, who has been in this business a long time, I cannot believe she threw production under. Oh, did my mic fall? Oh, my mic fell. I can't believe we were doing a segment about messing up a segment and I just messed up another segment.
Right, and this further disproves my theory that it's always the producer's fault.
No, I literally had a microphone just fall off my chest and they literally told me it was falling off my chest. This just goes to show you our producers make everything happen. They are wonderful human beings. You never throw them under the bus because they will find a way to get you right in front of that bus next time.
I will say, though, that I can see kind of how she said that, right? She's like, oh, the control room messed up. I was reading my cards and my cards were wrong. And obviously the information comes from the booth. So, and you guys know social media is nasty. People are so mean that I feel like you just have to kind of stick up for yourself sometimes. And,
yeah, but Deanna, you're the leader of that show.
Wrong way.
You're the face. You're the leader of that show. You don't throw other people under the bus. You're making gobs of money. It doesn't matter. Just say, I messed up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but then you don't want another Steve Harvey moment.
Yeah, see, I would have said that this is when you kind of have a little PR step in, because I think I would have said something like, you know, we messed up and then let it go. Don't over-explain, you know?
Yeah.
But also, I feel like when she said, oh, it was the control room, it was like just nerves and adrenaline, and you just say sometimes whatever's on your mind, and it's like, well, you know, I don't know.
Speaking of which, we got to go. We'll be back after this.
Let's just note I love my producers. I got some things about it. Okay, guys, can you believe that the iPhone 12 is out now?
Well,
I mean,
I
I'm
don't know
trying to
anything about it.
find, right, I'm trying to find
Yeah,
what's so
okay.
interesting about it. And the
Well, I'm
only thing
gonna
I see
tell
is that
you.
it can let you measure distances between objects.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Like,
that is
convince
beneficial.
me
It's
otherwise.
also, yeah, well, it's also 5G. It's supposed to be a lot better for better camera, higher quality video. Definitely different in a lot of ways. Are you getting it, John?
My phone is so cracked right now. I think I probably should. What do you think? Should I get the new one?
Yeah, I think
I've had
this
this one
update.
for the crack just keeps on growing here. That's classic. I can start peeling this off at this point. Maybe I'll get a new one. Dr. Phil tonight. All right. Welcome to the Jam, everybody. My name is John Hanson. I got Felicia Lawrence, Deanna Gutierrez to my left and to my right. And we're going to have a lot of fun here.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. Good evening. Okay, so I have some good news about the National Museum of Mexican Art in Pilsen. They just received a $3.5 million grant from the Ford Foundation. And obviously, we know a lot of museums took a big hit during this pandemic. Many were forced to close, especially the Museum of Mexican Art, which, if you were to ask me, I mean, growing up, we didn't really learn about our culture in school. So the museum is a way that people can get to learn a little bit more of where they come from. So this grant, and everyone in the staff in the museum says that it's really meaningful. It's going to help them a lot, and it helps preserve and conserve the culture.
Totally, a place to better enhance and improve cultural pride. And then I'm also thinking about all the events and just the role that museums, particularly this museum, plays in the community, and the pillar that it serves as. To see that continue is important.
Speaking about pillars in Chicago and in their community, Navy Pier, of course, closed now since the early parts of September. But they're going to do this virtual event. It's happening towards the end of the month. It's going to feature some local musicians, which is great, a new public art installation. They're going to have some public programs along the way, too. Also, they're going to have a special announcement. So that's like their big peg for tuning in. It's free, October 27th at 6:30. And it's going to have fundraisers for local programs. I am all about people trying to make things work whatever way you can. But are we done with the virtual events? I don't mean to, like, they shouldn't do it. I hope they have a great crowd and a great audience. But just like we're so tied, and now, what, 8 months into this thing, are we over them, or can we just keep doing them?
Deanna's face says it all.
Well,
Yes,
look, I mean,
the answer is we are over them.
Yeah, I was over it back in like July, just because, and look, and I understand that there are certain things that need to be done to keep events going year to year, right? And obviously we don't want to not participate. We don't want to not celebrate certain things that are happening in the community, but also there are things that just cannot be done virtually. I don't know. But also they say that there's a bigger crowd that you can attract. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. No, you do know. And the answer is no. We don't want it. It's too much. It's
But good
too
luck.
much. Remember when we first started all of this and we thought it was so cool? It was so cool that we could have these events and we're going to have virtual wine nights and all this stuff. No, when someone says virtual, I'm running the other way.
Right. Which is great, because I think you have a story about something virtual next, Felicia.
Yeah, apparently so. So our reality could all be fake. Maybe even a computer simulation being operated by an advanced civilization. That's according to a University of Oxford professor. Now, others have taken a deeper dive. They've looked into this theory, and they say there's a 50% chance that we actually are in a computer simulation. So, I mean, an advanced civilization has created all of this just to see what happens, what could happen. That's deep.
See, and
Okay,
you guys
look.
see,
Yeah,
you
look,
all want the iPhone 12. That's all your guys' fault.
2020
Blame us.
2020 has been astronomically horrific in every single way. But at least I've kind of chalked it up to the fact that what can you do? These things happen. If someone designed a simulation in which this year exists, I got 2 middle fingers for them that I have to keep below this camera line, otherwise I'm going to get in trouble.
Oh my, that's a bold statement there.
Well,
So I
come
was
on.
like, well, but wait, we already kind of did this though. I immediately thought of The Sims. I was like, that is the virtual world that was created. We did this.
I mean-
We are the civilization.
But then you also have this whole conversation about artificial intelligence, right? And how we're getting closer and closer to have computers have their own mind and operate on their own and all this other nonsense that just gives me the chills. But I mean, I don't know. That's just evolution of technology.
I
That's
just
one way
they
to
need
put it.
better. They just need better software writers if this is the code. Or maybe 2021 is going to be this epic thing we got coming. So I'm excited about that too. All right, take a look at this.
Oh, hi, ladies.
Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just rehearsing for an audition.
You're an actor.
Well, yeah. 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. They like that I do my own stunts.
That's a sneak peek of tonight's new episode of the CW Swamp Thing. Actor Ian Ziering plays Daniel Cassidy and the Blue Devil. He joins us now to tell us more about it. Obviously, that's Daniel Cassidy there. I've seen the Blue Devil, though, too. Ian, gotta be kind of cool to play this character that has a sort of Jekyll and Hyde transformation.
Incredible. This is a dream come true for me. This is the kind of stuff that 8-year-old boys like what's inside this guy would dream about when he was running around his house with a cape on his back, which is really just a towel that I tied one end to, a stick in one hand and a garbage can lid in the other. You know, it's a dream come true to work with DC, to work on Swamp Thing, playing Daniel Cassidy, who eventually turns into the Blue Devil, is, you know, it's a pinch myself moment for me.
Do you like playing a villain? Or at least half a villain?
He's not a villain. He's actually, well, he's a demon.
Okay.
So let's give him that. But
maybe halfway here.
He uses his powers for good instead of evil. But this guy, this demon, the Blue Devil, doesn't leave the bad guys in handcuffs. He leaves them in body parts. He just creates a bloodbath. It's not like the other superheroes leaving the bad guys in handcuffs. This is a very grounded drama. Swamp Thing is comes to us from some of the brightest minds in the genre, some of the most amazing writers. top tier, $100 million blockbuster directors, and they spent a fortune on this. You see the money on the screen. I'm working with amazing people. This is top of the food chain film production for TV.
Oh, that's got to be, even though I'm sure the makeup and everything takes a long time to get into that character, like when you see it, like we're just seeing some clips of it, it's got to be so rewarding and just so cool to be a part of.
I'm telling you, it's a pinch myself moment. I put that suit on. It takes about 3 hours with 2 people working on me. I close my eyes. They play some funky kind of yoga music. 3 hours later, I open my eyes and I scare myself. There's nothing that I recognize in my own body except like a human sort of shape. But the horns, the shoulders, the massive musculature on this demon it transcends me. But yet it weighs like less than 10 pounds. And I get close, I can see my heart beating in my neck. Wow. It's amazing. It's amazing.
You ever want to just like keep the muscle suit, at least that part of it, and walk around with it, at least, wear a shirt over it? And not that you need any help in that way.
This Halloween, we're on this close to Halloween. Boy, would I love to have that suit. I would scare the hell out of people. It's frightening.
I got to ask, I was scrolling through your Instagram and I saw your just really nice tribute to your friend Luke Wilson on what would have been his birthday. I know that probably continues to be tough, especially since you guys were friends at such a young age. Luke Perry, Luke Perry at such a younger age.
I've known Luke since I was 17 years old. We were in New York City working on different soap operas at the same time. And he was a good friend to me. He was kind of like a chosen brother, just like, Jason and Brian and the rest of my castmates from 90210. We're very close. We're like family. So still trying to reconcile the loss of a dear friend. It's hard.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I gotta say, the new show looks awesome. The episode tonight looks great. Congratulations on all the success. Thanks so much for joining us here.
Thanks, guy. Take care, everybody.
Yeah, take care. All right, you can catch the new episode, and there's obviously Ian's information there on Twitter and on Instagram. And see Swamp Thing tonight at 7 p.m.
Okay. Well, social media is all abuzz over the Apple event and the iPhone 12's new features. Krista Green got the deets from Apple Event Pro, Mitchell Giesel.
And I saw a lot about this 5G speed when we're in big crowds, right? In stadiums, at concerts. Mm-hmm. So we're going to see a lot faster, like text messaging and phone usage and concerts. But right now, no one's doing any large crowd thing.
Yeah,
right?
so when and if we do get to resume all the normalcy in life, the big difference between 4G and 5G as a whole is that latency. So with 4G, a lot of times you'd have full coverage when you're at those types of events, but your phone might not necessarily download anything. Things might not be loading as they would be, as you would expect when you have 4 or 5 bars. And that's because of the crowding and congesting of the network in a confined area. 5G eliminates that problem by providing a low latency network, which means it's able to handle more people within congested areas in that network trafficking. So that way you will actually experience the download speeds that you should be experiencing that are appearing on your phone, even if you're in that type of situation.
He is the guru, so make sure you check out KG's full interview on our Instagram page. But let's bring in the crew, see what you guys think. Deanna, are you going to be good? I asked John if he was going to get it. Are you going to get it, Dee?
Look, they promised me better photos, better quality with these 3 thingies that look like fly eyes, and I didn't get what I was promised. So I think I'm going to take a step back on this one, but maybe this is for people with broken iPhones and like iPhone 10s or something, right?
Well, I want to know what Poper thinks. Pope's into all the Apple stuff. I don't know if we can get him on in here, but I know he's got some thoughts, as usual.
I really don't. I mean, I don't plan on getting the new phone. I never.
All right, well, let's get him off
phone.
here. What do we do?
I never get the new phone. Like, I just got a new phone. I think this is the iPhone 11, maybe it's 10. So I'm always behind. Why spend all that money?
It's too much and they're so expensive. I currently have an 8 Plus. It's time for me to get an upgrade just because it's been like a couple of years now. And I don't know why I looked down to see how long it's been since I've had an iPhone, especially with nothing there. But yeah, it's time for the upgrade.
Yeah, I used to have an iPhone 6, so trust me, I know.
I also don't appreciate the features that are making it more like an Android. Like, what's going on here?
Well, as our boss
Apple
would
copies
say,
it.
the Android, they had it for a long, long time. So,
Right.
all right, Brandon, hey, are we going to be able to travel anywhere?
Not Indiana, but who wants to go there anyway? Chicago's travel ban may now make it harder for you to head out of state. Sorry, Indiana. One bunk method the SWAT team used to end a standoff as we head to break. Here's a look at tomorrow's forecast and another apology to Indiana out there. More of the jam when we come back.
You're doing that.
Don't try and save yourself, Brandon.
Love Northwest.
I love Indiana. Love the Hoosiers. Brandon Pope here with the news you need to know. Indiana has been added to Chicago's quarantine travel order after an uptick in cases in that state. It requires that travelers returning to the city from there stay inside for 2 weeks. And there's still some hope for COVID relief. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has slated a procedural revote on the GOP's proposal for Monday. It comes after the president reversed course on his no stimulus tweet, arguing that Republicans should go big. And a hot topic around this whole Supreme Court battle going on, should an incoming president add more Supreme Court judges to the bench? An idea from the progressive wing of the Democratic Party. Reporters have tried to get the Biden-Harris campaign to weigh in on this for weeks. Joe Biden now says he's not a fan of court packing, but says the focus should be on Trump, the Trump administration rushing through an Amy Coney Barrett nomination. What are your thoughts, guys?
Yes, they should be paying attention to what's going on with Amy Coney Barrett. I think that is the action that's moving the needle right now that people should pay attention to. But I feel like we've been watching Biden stumble over this question for about the last week or so. I feel like this has not been a good PR way that he's handled this, just because he hasn't given a clear answer. And if it's not one way or the other, I feel like you can still give a concise, clear answer I think it just looks bad to voters that he's been unclear in his stance on this. And then also define packing. Like, is packing 3 extra justices, or is that, 20? Like, what does that mean?
Right. And some are saying that that's the only way that we can get some progressive movement on issues that are really important to the community. But also, I can see why Biden is saying that he doesn't want this to become a distraction, because he says the president will then take that and use it almost as like ammunition, almost as fuel on social media to distract. But these are pretty important issues. I don't think this is a distraction. I think this is a conversation that needs to be had.
I agree with everything you guys are saying. It's so hard in politics because he's going to be damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. So yeah, I think that middle of the road answer is good. It needs to be a little bit better formed. I think saying he's not a fan of it is a toss to the independents out there, while also leaving the door open for his progressive followers. So I think that's probably the best play for it. And it's probably also the honest play. We don't know what's going to happen over the next 3 months.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's going to be following the campaign for a while, as people are trying to get a clear idea of what a Joe Biden administration would actually be if he's in office, and if it's even fair to add more Supreme Court justices when, all this time we've had the number that we have. Another story here, Chicago Public Schools, they've announced a new pipeline plan that would get more CPS grads to become teachers. The goal is to get more educators of color in the classroom, and it's a partnership with the City Colleges of Chicago and Illinois State University. You get an associate degree at City Colleges first, then you get 2 years as an ISU student doing all the classes here in Chicago, with a priority in job placement once you complete your training with that degree. They say they want to increase the number of CPS grads who become teachers from the current number of 140 to 500 CPS grads becoming teachers. Very important, because a lot of people have experienced this. I grew up without having one teacher of color. And a lot of kids of color have that same experience. So it's good to have people that reflect your reality and reflect your upbringing and where you came from, educating you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm 110% for this. I mean, I graduated as a CPS student, and Brandon, unlike you, I did have people that looked like me, except we didn't have the resources that, normal, or not, I shouldn't say normal, but that other schools had in other parts of the city. And I think it all comes down to that education degree, right? And how much money are we giving to students so that they can get that education degree? Because as we know, college is super expensive, and I love that this program is helping them get to the end goal. But at the same time, it just shouldn't cost that much for them to go back to their communities and help out.
Yeah. Go ahead, John.
No, I was just going to say that diversity is great, not only for diversity's sake, but it makes everything a lot better. It makes schools better, it makes businesses better, it makes us all better.
Yeah, and then it could add some pride to the community as well. If teachers are taking pride in what they're doing, I can see that working out.
For sure.
Check this one out. This is pretty relatable, if you ask me. A 7-hour police standoff in Chicago ends after an outreach worker pleaded with the guy inside, "Hey, bro, I'm trying to watch the Lakers game. Come out. Please, just come out." Well, the man accused of shooting at a retired sheriff's officer, he walked out with his hands in the air after receiving that text message. Nobody was hurt in the incident, but that's extremely relatable. I mean, come on, the game is on. We ain't got time for this. You got to see LeBron James win his 4th championship. It's important.
Whenever it's a serious situation like that, whatever they can do to find that peaceful resolution is great. Nice work.
Yeah, completely. And I think it was the fact that he was more so asking him, like, come on, man, work with me, instead of demanding that he do something that he was told to do. So I could see how that could have worked. A little psychological manipulation going on there.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. And I think it works both ways. I've heard some stories where people are like, oh, no, I was just speeding because, I was trying to catch the game, or, I was just, out with friends watching the game. That's why I was drinking a little bit, so it works both ways. Don't worry about it.
Ain't nothing worse than somebody messing up the game for you.
Tell me about it. We'll be back in 90 seconds, guys.
What a gorgeous city we got, guys.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, guys, this is the part of the show where we go deep on a topic.
No, that's coming up a little later, Deanna. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. I had a John moment. I'm sorry.
2 more seconds.
Yeah. It's coming up. Don't worry.
Also,
that's next.
Hey, there we go. This is the part of the show where we go deep on a topic or we dish about ourselves, and it's called Deep Dish.
Okay, well, let's dish then. Any guesses on the worst thing you guys could say in bed?
Ooh, we're jumping right into this, huh?
Gosh, Felicia, let me breathe a little bit.
I think the worst thing you could ever say to someone else in bed is, now what's your name?
Oh, come on. That's bad. Can I, well, for me, I think I would say, Brandon, hold on, it's my turn, okay? I would say, like, can you go brush your teeth? That would be like.
Oh, yeah.
Because
but that's an important thing to say.
Right. Yeah, it's important. Thank you, Juan.
Yeah, but that kills the mood. Yeah. Brandon, you say you've forgotten people's name in bed?
Only once. I didn't ask what their name was, though, but I did forget the name. You don't want to ask them the name right away.
I appreciate your honesty, Brandon. Okay, so here's what experts say is the worst thing to say. You're doing it wrong. Don't say that. Don't say you're doing it wrong. Now, they're not saying that you shouldn't speak up for yourself and talk about your needs or what you like or, you deserve to be pleasured. But they are saying that you should not tell the person that you're doing it wrong.
Well, I mean, if you're not doing it right, you're doing it wrong. So I think it's okay to say that you're doing it wrong.
It's how you say it. It's how you deliver the news. Deliver it in a positive manner.
Right. You want to do it like a criticism sandwich. Like, here's one thing you're doing okay. Here's not good, but here's okay. And I think that's the way you do it. And they work on this one right here. Now, Brandon, you say you've forgotten other people's name. Has anyone ever told you that you were doing it wrong?
Oh, no, that doesn't happen. I am aware of that.
See, I just want to point out that we had a whole different Brandon on the Jam TV show yesterday saying like, oh no, I'm a saint. And now look at him. It's crazy.
I am, but I'm also good at what I do. So, I mean, I can't front. I'm not going to front on live TV.
I don't even want to go down this conversation path. Okay, here are the other things they say is wrong. Calling someone by the wrong name, Brandon. Have you been tested? We can dive deep into that. I've had better. And do you mind brushing your teeth?
I've had better. Who would say that in the middle of it? Hold on, you would never say in the middle of a book, I've read a better book. You got to give someone at least till the end to make that judgment. Sorry, Brandon, to cut you off.
A good one would be, that's it? That's it?
Well, that's a great way to end our show. Hopefully you don't feel that way. That is it. We'll see you tomorrow. That's it.